Ariane Lipski picks up a big split decision win against Melissa Gatto. So Melissa Gatto goes from this undefeated fighter, right? 8-0-1, I believe, to now 8-2-1 in her MMA career. 2 losses back to back from being undefeated. So you take a major kind of step down. Your hype sizzles out a little bit. But AJ, I can't sit here and deny it, and we need to talk about this. I felt like Gatto was the more technical fighter in this bout. I thought that there was a couple IQ mistakes based on matchup style, but she did leave the fight in the best place for Ariane Lipski to stay competitive, which was just a straight up Muay Thai fight, kickboxing fight, you know what I mean? Do you think, let's talk about visuals, but do you think that Ariane Lipski 10 out of 10 times wins this matchup against Gatto?
No, Derek, not at all. And as close as this is to Ariane Lipski being the previous self she was outside of the UFC, getting knockouts, getting all stuff. She even mentioned on her post-fight press conference, everyone's asking her, when are you going to get knockouts again? When are you going to be the queen of violence again? I don't think we're going to see that resurgence come about because of the fact you're talking about. She's so technically strong in there, and that's going to propel her a lot further than the flashy knockouts and stuff. But to your point, I'd say 5 times out of 10, these fighters trade back and forth. I mean, there's nothing to shake your head at in the performance Melissa Gatto had, besides the fact she did not use her strength. And sometimes when you're in there, you try for a takedown once, you do what you think is going to work best, and it doesn't work out. And the next thing you know, you get hip tossed, and you're in a position where you're like, I'm supposed to be the one doing this. Okay, I'm good on the ground. I have submissions. She's back out. Now in her fight, you're like, damn, I'm out of my realm again. And I think just not necessarily the head games, but the mental warfare that was being taken place, I think Melissa Gatto expected to be the one on the better end of it, but the cards were in favor of Lipski in this fight.
The thing that was really interesting to me is if you check this out, you'll notice that you have Melissa Gatto in blue, and then you have Ariane Lipski in red here. Melissa Gatto outstruck her 2 of 3 rounds. It was dead even in the 3rd round, right? She outstruck her in 2 rounds. If you look at the numbers, significant strikes, 85 for Gatto, 66 for Ariane Lipski. Takedowns, let me see, where's the takedowns at? Takedowns, 1 of 1 for Lipski, and to your point, 0 of 7 for Gatto. So that was just kind of my thing, is that from a visual perspective, I'm like, okay. And this is also, I think, in part because the broadcast team was just doing nothing but talking about Melissa Gatto. Look how she's just laying that jab on her. That 1-2 down the pipe was beautiful, right? It just felt like, I'm like, man, Gatto should probably squeak this one out. She did win one of the cards on the split. But when they gave it to Lipski, Lipski looked more confident. At the end of the fight, she looked like the winner. But is this not one of those weird ones? Why do the numbers not add up in this one?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Derek. And I think the numbers don't add up because it was such a close fight. And one of the big things that swayed in favor of Lipski was the visuals. Gatto's on the ground. Gatto's got her back towards the mat. Everything's looking. Lipski's able to pull away, hit some big shots, and look like the tide's in her favor. And I think that's where the numbers kind of skew because it seemed like a lot closer to fight. But apparently, we saw it in the takedowns. Gatto not able to do her bread and butter kind of leads to a faulty performance, if you will.
And that's the thing, too, is when you think, oh, I'm touching her up, man, I know I'm hitting her. You're in your head, you're counting. I know I'm landing more than she's landing. You're thinking you're winning. I don't really need to use my jiu-jitsu as much. And that's the thing, man. Don't stray away from the thing that gets you to where you're at, the bread and butter right there. This was an impressive win by Ariane Lipski. And just to see how she's stringing them together, man, this seems like a career resurgence a little bit right here. So my final point before we move on, Ariane Lipski, give it a year. Where is she at? Is she ranked? What do you think?
Ooh, yes. Give it a year. I do think she's ranked, maybe even cracking that top 12. Like I said, we're not going to see the Ariane Lipski of old that's just cracking people left and right, dropping girls and just leave them in their dust. We are going to see a more refined, a more technical, a more calm Ariane Lipski, which will probably, at least in my opinion, advance her further in her career.
Okay, fair enough. Big win by the Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipski.